This is one of the most powerful truths that will change the way you experience your life, your relationships, and your results. Emotions are not your enemy. They are not something to suppress, deny, or fear. They are powerful indicators, powerful energy signals that reveal what matters most to you, what is affecting you, and what is alive inside of you. But here's the catch. Most people confuse their emotions with instructions. They see a surge of anger and react impulsively. They feel fear and immediately retreat. They experience frustration and lash out or give up. They allow transient feelings, temporary fluctuations in energy to dictate decisions, shape actions, and steer their lives. And every time this happens, they give away their power, they surrender their clarity, and they drift into reaction instead of creation. Emotional mastery begins when you recognize that feelings are information, not orders. They are signals to notice, not commands to follow blindly. The first step in mastering emotion is awareness. Most people live their entire lives without truly noticing their emotional state. They wake up, react, respond, and drift through each day, driven by impulses and conditioned reactions. They blame circumstances, other people, or their environment for how they feel and what they do. But the truth is, the moment you become aware of your emotions, you reclaim control. Awareness is not a passive acknowledgement. It is a conscious recognition that what you feel is separate from the choices you make. It is understanding that emotions are indicators of energy, meaning, or need, not instructions that must be obeyed. When you start observing your emotions without judgment, without reacting immediately, you create space. That space is the difference between being hijacked by life and leading it. Most people mistake awareness for suppression. They think controlling emotion means hiding it, ignoring it, or denying it. That's not mastery, that's repression. Suppressed emotions do not disappear. They accumulate, they fester, they explode at unexpected moments, often with devastating consequences. Emotional mastery is different. It is noticing emotion, naming it, understanding it, and choosing how to act. It is transforming raw feeling into insight, into clarity, into energy that can drive purposeful action. Anger is not bad. It can highlight injustice, identify boundaries, and fuel determination. Fear is not bad. It can point to risk, signal preparation, and sharpen focus. Frustration is not bad. It can motivate change, highlight gaps, and energize problem solving. When you observe these emotions consciously, you turn them from obstacles into tools, from chaos into leverage. Once awareness is established, the next step is choice. Every moment presents you with a decision. Will you act impulsively, reacting to emotion, or will you pause, assess, and respond intentionally? This is where most people fail. They act reflexively, letting emotion dictate action, and then wonder why the results are inconsistent, why relationships deteriorate, why opportunities slip away. The person who masters emotion understands that pause equals power. Even a brief pause, a breath, a moment to reflect, a conscious acknowledgement creates the opportunity to respond with intelligence, not reaction. This pause is the gateway to freedom because it allows you to transform raw energy into directed, meaningful action rather than letting it scatter uncontrollably. Choice also means reframing. Every emotional surge carries information about your beliefs, values, or unmet needs. If you experience anger, it might indicate a violated boundary or an unmet expectation. If you feel fear, it might highlight perceived risk, insecurity, or uncertainty. Emotional mastery involves interpreting these signals accurately and reframing them into a constructive framework. Instead of reacting with hostility, avoidance, or despair, the emotionally intelligent person asks, what is this emotion telling me? How can I use it to take effective action? How can I transform this energy into progress rather than destruction? This is the transformative power of choice. Emotions become data, reactions become strategy, and feelings become fuel. And let's be clear, emotional mastery is not a skill you acquire once and then forget. It is a daily practice, moment by moment, decision by decision. Life will continue to test you. Circumstances will frustrate you. People will push buttons. Challenges will arise. But the disciplined, emotionally aware person responds instead of reacting. They recognize the surge of emotion, they pause, they assess, and then they choose a response that aligns with their highest values, goals, and identity. This is the practice that separates average lives from extraordinary ones, the reactive from the proactive, the chaotic from the intentional. Emotional mastery also strengthens identity. Every time you choose response over reaction, every time you observe without being consumed, every time you convert energy into purpose, you reinforce the type of person you are becoming. You tell yourself, I am in control. I am capable. I am a person of standards, not impulses. Over time, these repeated choices consolidate into identity. You no longer see yourself as someone who is at the mercy of circumstance or feelings. You become someone who is anchored, grounded, and unshakable. Your values, principles, and standards define your behavior, not fleeting states of mind. Emotional mastery is identity mastery. And here's the impact. Emotional mastery multiplies influence. Think about the leaders, innovators, and champions you respect most. Do you think they allow every frustration, fear, or disappointment to hijack their actions? Absolutely not. Their power comes from their ability to maintain clarity and composure, to respond intentionally, to act decisively even under pressure. When you master your emotion, you inspire trust, respect, and credibility. Others look to you for guidance, leadership, and stability because your presence exudes control rather than chaos. Emotional mastery amplifies your power not just internally but externally, creating influence that cascades through your personal and professional life. The next critical principle is channeling energy. Emotion is raw energy, and energy without direction is destructive. Anger left unchecked can destroy relationships, opportunities, and self-confidence. Fear unchecked can immobilize you. Frustration unchecked can demotivate and deplete. But when you channel this energy intentionally, it becomes a driving force. Anger can be transformed into determination, fear into preparation, frustration into innovation. Every surge of energy can be redirected toward constructive, aligned action that moves you closer to your goals rather than pushing you away from them. Emotional mastery is not about eliminating feeling. It is about harnessing it. And here's something most people overlook. The body mirrors the mind. Your physiology influences your emotional state. When you feel tension, anxiety, or anger, your body contracts, your breathing becomes shallow, your energy tightens. Mastery involves aligning your physiology with your intent. Stand tall. Breathe deeply. Move with purpose. Channel your energy outward rather than letting it fester inward. Physical control reinforces emotional control. When you combine awareness, pause, choice, and physiological alignment, you achieve a state of powerful presence that allows you to respond with maximum effectiveness and minimum wasted energy. The practice of emotional mastery is continuous. It is built in small, intentional actions repeated daily. Notice the first stirrings of irritation, frustration, or fear. Pause. Breathe, assess, reframe, channel, respond, reflect, repeat. Over time, these micro moments compound, strengthening your capacity to act intelligently, decisively, and powerfully, regardless of circumstance. Emotional mastery is not an event, it is a lifestyle. It is the foundation upon which extraordinary performance, leadership, and influence are built. And here's the freedom that comes with mastery. When you control your emotional state, you are no longer manipulated by circumstance. You are free from reactionary living, from unnecessary conflict, from impulsive mistakes. You are free to act from purpose, clarity, and strategy. You create your results rather than being at the mercy of mood, impulse, or pressure. You operate from strength rather than chaos, from vision rather than confusion, from intention rather than accident. Emotional mastery is the ultimate form of personal power. Most people underestimate the compound effect of these choices. Each time you notice, pause, assess, and respond intentionally, you strengthen a neural pathway in your brain. You condition yourself to react differently, to process information consciously, to act strategically. Every decision reinforces identity. Every pause reinforces control. Every response reinforces power. Over months and years, these small actions accumulate into an extraordinary capacity to navigate challenges, manage relationships, and create results that are consistent, predictable, and exceptional. And remember, emotions are contagious. Your energy, state, and presence affect everyone around you. If you're reactive, volatile, or inconsistent, those around you will feel tension, doubt, and instability. But if you act with emotional intelligence, your influence spreads. You create calm, clarity, and confidence in your environment. You elevate performance, trust, and cooperation. Emotional mastery is not just personal empowerment, it is social leverage, leadership, and impact. So start now. Begin the practice of observing your feelings without judgment. Pause before you act. Assess the signal behind the emotion. Reframe it into insight. Channel the energy into aligned action. Strengthen your physiology to reinforce your state. Reflect and repeat. Each micro moment builds your capacity to respond with intelligence, purpose, and power. Every choice to respond instead of react compounds into identity, influence, and unstoppable momentum. And here's the truth. Life will test you. People will provoke you. Circumstances will frustrate you. Challenges will emerge without warning. But the disciplined, emotionally aware person responds. They maintain clarity. They act decisively. They convert every surge of emotion into leverage, action, and progress. Every test becomes an opportunity to strengthen mastery, to increase influence, and to live intentionally. The cost of inaction, of reaction, of surrendering your power to emotion is too high. The price is wasted potential, missed opportunities, and a life defined by chaos rather than control. Emotional mastery is a practice of freedom, power, and transform. Awareness plus choice equals control. Pause plus assessment equals clarity. Channel plus action equals results. Repetition plus reflection equals identity. And when you combine these elements, you step into a life where emotion fuels achievement rather than undermining it, where challenges become opportunities, and where every moment is an opportunity to act intentionally, powerfully, and effectively. The moment you stop being controlled by emotion, you reclaim your life. You gain clarity, focus, and power. You convert challenges into opportunities. You transform setbacks into leverage. And you step into the life you were always capable of creating, not by suppressing emotion, but by mastering it, harnessing it, and using it as a force for extraordinary results.